Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, I feel like it's really important for me to say that I am not certified in any type of way. There are definitely more reputable sources out there that can help you with the structure of your workouts, programming, and even form for exercises. These are things that I enjoy doing and things that I've learned on the way of watching YouTube videos, TikToks, following personal trainers, and things I've learned being in sports and in classes. As for my current goals, I'm at a point in my fitness journey where I've been able to be consistent for 2 years now, and the first 3 years was just like trial and error, on and off. Now I've been able to be consistent and where I've seen the most progress, but I have changed up my routine a little bit. All in all, I'm at a point where I just love moving my body. Some days I like to lift heavy, some days I like to do cardio. I like to challenge my abilities, really push myself. So from October to March, I was doing more resistance training, more that bodybuilding style. So I'm still doing that kind of stuff. I still have my main compound movements and like the main workout of the day, but I've been really into CrossFit, and now I really want to learn it and put it into my workout routine. I needed to change. I wanted to try something new. I love to be able to not breathe. Although it sucks at the time, I just love that feeling. So yeah, I've just been kind of teaching myself, putting in some more full body days, combining lower body days. So make sure you watch the whole video. Hopefully it's really helpful and you enjoy it. But yeah, let's get right into it. It is so freezing. So today I've opted for an Oxy Shred ready to drink. The Ultra Energy cans. Oh my gosh, I spilled it. I haven't had this flavor in a while. So I love to start off the beginning of the week. I love to do something on Mondays. Typically it'll be legs, glute and hamstring focused, and then I'm gonna throw in an AMRAP at the end. So as I said, I actually just recently switched up the structure of my workouts, but I still will be sharing the kind of bodybuilding layout structure of my workouts and the compound exercises, that kind of thing. So I'll always start with some kind of body moving warm up, whether that's walking on the treadmill for 5 minutes or doing jumping jacks, and then getting into dynamic stretching. And this is sort of like the routine I used to do when I played soccer, so that kind of works out for me because that's what I'm more comfortable with. But yeah, basically lower body things when it's a lower body day. Just kind of keep moving, making sure I'm getting a good stretch in. So every week really depends on how my body feels, and that's the flexibility that I have with my routine, is I get to decide what days I want to work out, what days I want to have my rest days. So if something comes up, I can take a rest day, no problem. If a certain part of my body is sore, I can take a rest day, no problem. So I don't really have like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. It's just a day 1, day 2, day 3, and then I gotta kind of spread those out through the week, whatever days I feel like doing them. But yeah, so my main routine from October to March has been glutes and hamstrings, then back and biceps, then hitting just solely quads, then chest, tris, and shoulders, and then glutes and maybe quads, and then a cardio day. And I will keep the same routine for around 6 weeks and implement progressive overload within those movements. So for this first exercise here, we have RDLs, and this is a tough movement for me to master. I'm trying to do more glute bias RDLs. Here is a little warm-up set. Some weeks I'll do them with this type of bar, some weeks I'll do them with like an actual barbell and like the bigger weights on the side, or some days I'll do dumbbell RDLs. And the only time something will change within my 6-week program is if there's a little routine that I've seen online and I want to give it a try, or if there's a certain machine that's being used and I have to do like a different variation. That's pretty much it. Or if the gym's really busy and there's a certain area that is kind of like packed up, anything that's kind of just being used and I need to do something else. The last thing is if there's an exercise that my body is just not vibing with. If it's not feeling good during the exercise, I'll change it. There's literally no one in here. This is glorious. But yeah, this week that I filmed this video, I got really lucky with the times that I went. The areas were just empty and it was great. It was just amazing. And I believe I did 4 sets of 12 to 15 here. One more. But yeah, this last set was bomb. I could feel it all in my glutes. And here I'm gonna stand up and then feel the burn. Woo! So this next superset is something new that I tried. It's single-legged or like one-legged RDLs. I did 10 reps here and then went straight into B stance hip thrust, 12 reps there. And this felt really good. And after that, I would go straight into the next leg and then take a rest and repeat that for a total of 3 sets. Next year we have step ups, and these have been hitting, like just destroying. As long as I do them really slow and controlled. Some days I mess around, or some weeks I mess around with the height of the blocks. This height here is more comfortable for me, but some days I'll do like the 6 blocks and have it a little bit higher. And I usually like to end this day with the 45-degree hyper extension machine, but it was being used, so then I opted for like a leg curl, or sometimes like the lying hamstring curl, but I didn't film it. And so here's where I'm changing up my routine. I like to end it off with like some kind of AMRAP, EMOM, or like the 4-time kind of thing. I don't know if I got this from someone online and then maybe switched up some of the exercises, or like remove some of the exercises. So yeah, it was basically 8 plank walks, 12 sit-ups, 16 squats, then 20 kettlebell swings, and you just do as many rounds as possible for 15 minutes. And I believe this day I got in 5.5 rounds. This was my second time doing this one, but my most recent record is 7 rounds, so that's improvement for you. But yeah, pretty much the reason why I've decided to switch up a bit of my routine is because I find the strength training, resistance training gets a little bit boring and repetitive for me, like in my opinion. Maybe I'm not pushing myself hard enough. I definitely am pushing myself, but I like the intensity of when I'm struggling to breathe. Like this kind of stuff that tests my cardiovascular system. Like I really like this kind of stuff, and I've really been enjoying it. So that's why I'm incorporating it. And here my lungs were just absolutely destroyed. Like look at me, I just collapsed to the ground, all dramatic, and I just felt so good. Felt so good after. And then I end my workouts with static stretching, which you'll see later on in the video. That was intense. Usually when I'm like suffering and I'm in pain and I'm on the last set, I just think to myself like, why give up now? Why stop now? We've made it this far. Why are we gonna give up and give half the effort, you know? Give all your effort at the end. So here my body was feeling good. I've decided to change day 2 to a full body conditioning type of thing. And here was one of those days where I felt like walking for 4 minutes and then doing a light jog for a minute. And of course, going into my dynamic stretching. And here's a little bit more of like an upper body focus. And then of course, some lower body as well. And right after this, I went to a different area of the gym where I could use like an actual barbell and like the weights on the sides. But I started to feel very overwhelmed, and I was kind of having like a panic attack because I felt like there was so many people just watching me, or that I thought were watching me, and I just didn't know what I was doing. And so that's why I moved back to this area. And currently a movement that I'm working on improving my form are the cleans. I don't know what the difference is between a power clean. I mean, I know hang clean is different than like a squat clean, all those types of things, pretty much the clean genre. But yeah, when I was over back at that other area, and I tried to use the barbell with 2 of the 10s on the sides, and I just didn't feel confident. I didn't feel like I could do it. So that's why I have just a 50-pound preset barbell here. And these actually felt pretty good. I don't know why. I just had a fear of like the bigger setup. If you follow me on IG and TikTok, you know that I did get over that fear, and I was able to use a barbell with the 2 10s on the side. So this workout I got from Miss Gabby Shea on Instagram, and it's 8 squat cleans, 8 push press, 8 burpees, 20 kettlebell swings, then 50 double unders or 100 singles. And this is an AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible for 15 to 25 minutes. I believe I did 20. And for some reason I was doing burpee jump overs. Why did I make it so hard for myself? I don't know, but I was questioning my abilities. As you can see, this was the 3rd movement, and I was dying. I had done 2 rounds before this here, but yeah, my lungs were just destroyed. It was intense. I was just like, man, I want to give up here, but I didn't. So day 3 here is where I evaluate how I'm feeling. If I want to rest, I'll rest. But I was feeling pretty good. So this is like kind of like an upper body. I decided to combine a push and pull, or I'll do just an upper body based AMRAP again. So here I worked on some pull-ups and chin-ups. That's something that I really want to improve. But yeah, in my old routine, I would typically separate a push and pull. So I would solely do back and biceps, and then a different day I would do chest, tris, and shoulders. And I'll share those workouts on the screen here for you. Today I didn't really do as much. I think I just did 2 upper body exercises. I mean, plus the chin-ups and pull-ups. So the bench press is an exercise that I really enjoy doing. I don't know what type of endorphins, why this makes me feel so good, but I really like to do this exercise. Even though there's a bit of controversy, I don't know if it's controversy, but around the idea of your chest shrinking. And I've seen a few people online say that they've stopped training chest for that specific reason. I don't know, it just makes me feel really strong and really good, so that's why I enjoy it. Typically I'll start with a lighter weight and try to do 12 to 10 reps, and once the weight starts to get heavy, I'll do 8, and then I'll put a bit more weight, and then I'll do 6. And this is an exercise that I don't typically take to absolute failure. I trust myself to where I don't need a spotter, and I trust that I'll be able to get it up even though it is a bit more difficult and the rep will probably be very slow. But yeah, I do know my limits, so it does feel safe for me. Like there, I'm struggling, but then I get it up and then I re-rack it. Yeah, and this is just me using this higher row machine. My top 2 exercises for back that I really like to do are the barbell bent over rows or the lat pull down machine. But yeah, this is just what I decided to do today. And I end off this workout with another AMRAP, 15 to 20 minutes. This one is 50 double unders / 100 singles. I really can't do double unders yet, so the singles will do. And then 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, and then 20 burpees. As many rounds as possible. I was dying. I think I got this one from maybe Gabby. I really don't know. And here is the static stretching portion. I mean, I didn't show every single exercise after every single workout, but yeah, this is kind of just like the gist of it. Some days I'll forget to do an exercise, some days I'll be lazy, but it is really important for me to get a stretch afterwards. And literally just as I finished my workout, there were a few people that came into this little room, so I just put my mask back on. And then day 4, I decided to have my rest day, and sometimes I'll do a little full body stretch if my body is feeling a little bit tight or sore. Sometimes I'll walk, sometimes not. Just depends on how I'm feeling. What's up? So I didn't get to record this leg day last week, so I'm just recording it this week. Same leg day. I put on the same outfit, having some non-stim oxy shred. I'm kind of in a rush, so I gotta go because filming takes long. I gotta be back home for a certain time. I got these new shoes. Follow my TikTok if you wanna kind of see the behind the scenes of these. The Nike Metcon 7s. I like them. We're trying them out today, seeing how they work, if they function good, and yeah. See ya. So this day was really weird. After doing all of my dynamic stretching, kind of opening up my hips and ankle mobility, all that stuff, the squats were not feeling like how they usually do. And I don't know, I don't think it's because of the shoes. It is kind of odd, but I think I was just having an off day here. I don't know, something about my form, my hips, it just felt really off. So I still pushed through. I didn't enjoy this like 100% of the time, but it is what it is. So yeah, this would be the day 5 of this week, and something that I've started to do is combining my leg day. So in the beginning of the week I had my glutes and hamstrings, but here I've decided to combine quads and glutes because it puts less pressure to feel certain exercises in a certain muscle group, because I would find that I would want a glute day, but I would feel everything in my quads, and that would leave me to have a bad workout and leave me in a sucky mood because of it. So doing it this way makes it much more enjoyable for me. Most of the time now I do feel exercises more in my glutes, not these back squats of course, but other exercises later on in this workout. So today 185 was feeling very, very heavy. It was feeling very, very difficult, and I was kind of frustrated here. So next are these barbell glute bridges. I don't know how to say it. And I don't do these often enough, okay? I'm very lazy when it comes to the setup of hip thrusts or these glute bridges. So I'll typically just use the preset machine, or even sometimes the bench. Like this specific bench I like because it's a little bit lower and more comfortable for me. Sometimes it's not available, so I don't do them. But yeah, these were amazing, and I'm always really scared to go anything above like 205, but I think I've got some of the form down. I don't know if I was going too low for glute bridges, but anyway, I felt it all in my glutes. It was amazing. But yeah, I can't wait to try to go to some heavier weights. So this is another exercise where if the equipment is not available, I'll do a different variation, whether that's using a dumbbell or, like I said, that hip thrust machine where you just put the weights on the side. It's pretty easy, but it's not really that ideal. I feel those maybe a little bit more in my quads. I did 2 sets for 15 reps and then the last set for 12. And near the end here, I was struggling so much that I had to like speed up the reps because it was getting so difficult. And these are like those JPG variations of Bulgarian split squats, or just like split squats, rear elevated lunges. I don't know what they're called, but I just call them Bulgarians. But yeah, this is an exercise where I would feel very pressured to feel them in my glutes. I know there's certain form cues to better feel them in your glutes. Like instead of going up and down, you go like more diagonal, like sit back. But anyway, I just do the exercise now and feel them where I feel them. But I definitely like the lower platform instead of a higher platform. Here I did 3 times 12. I definitely could have hired the rep range or maybe grabbed some heavier dumbbells. And the last exercise today are these B stance RDLs. Now, I didn't have enough time in my workout today. As I said in the beginning, I was in a rush. So one week the gym was just so busy, there was no cables available, and usually I do cable medius kickbacks, but nothing was available, so I just grabbed the dumbbell and did the B stance RDLs, and I really liked them, so they stayed in my routine. But yeah, today I didn't have time for the cable medius kickbacks, or I would also do the leg extension machine to isolate my quads. And here I did 3 times 12. So this day 6 here wasn't from this week of workouts, but sometimes I will do a little walk and run, or sometimes it'll be just a rest. Day 7 will also be just a rest or a little active recovery. Like I said in the beginning, this is where I have my flexibility if my body's not feeling it or I can't fit it in my schedule. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, make sure to comment them down below, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.